Hello everybody, and thank you for tuning in to the weekly report. Shut down the Department of Education. President Trump's executive order from last week titled Improving Education Outcomes by Empowering Parents, States, and Communities could help bring about a major step toward restoring constitutional government and improving education. The executive order directs that the Secretary of Education, to the maximum extent appropriate and permitted by law, take all necessary steps to facilitate the closure of the Department of Education and return authority over education to the states and local communities. This action is directed to be taken, though, while ensuring the effective and uninterrupted delivery of services, programs, and benefits on which Americans rely. The order points out that the Department of Education was created in 1979. Thus, the American people somehow managed for a long time to educate children without a federal Department of Education. They could certainly do so again. The federal government introduced significant funding to local schools in the 1950s. Some of this early funding was targeted at science education and was a response to the Soviet Union's launch of the Sputnik satellite. The first major legislation providing funding for and imposing regulations on local government schools became law in 1965. The Department of Education has been given nearly 50 years to work on improving education. Yet instead of the Department of Education ushering in an education golden era, education in America has declined. According to the most recent National Assessment of Educational Progress, approximately 70% of 8th graders are below proficiency in reading, while around 72% are below proficiency in math. The problem is not that the federal government spends too little on education. Further, Washington, D.C. imposing another reform on schools will only ensure that more children are left behind. The real problem is education funding is controlled by politicians and bureaucrats who impose a one-size-fits-all model on schools. The key to improving the education system is putting control of education back in the hands of those who best know a child's unique needs and abilities: parents. Moving education programs from the federal government to state and local governments is a good first step toward improving the education system. In addition, President Trump must follow up his executive order by working with Congress to pass legislation shutting down the Department of Education. Homeschooling is one course many parents have chosen as an alternative to sending their children to government schools. Parents looking for a homeschooling curriculum incorporating the ideas of liberty should consider my online curriculum. My curriculum provides students with a solid education in history, literature, mathematics, and the sciences. It also gives students the opportunity to create their own websites and internet-based businesses. This provides students with real-world entrepreneurial experience that will be useful to them no matter what career path they choose. The curriculum is designed to be self-taught, with students helping and learning from each other via online forums. Starting in the 4th grade, students are required to write at least one essay a week. Students post their essays on their blogs. Students also take a course in public speaking. The curriculum does emphasize the history, philosophy, and economics of liberty, but it never substitutes indoctrination for education. The goal is to produce students with superior critical thinking skills. If you think my curriculum may meet the needs of your child, please visit ronpaulcurriculum.com for more information. Thanks for listening.